representation that there was that the economic freedom fighters is a racist party and is anti-white is simply contradicted by my own presence here. The EFF is an anti-racist party, but at the same time, it is also a pro-black, pro-African majority party, which understands our position very, very clearly, that first and foremost, it is about the restitution of the wrongs of the past and the empowerment of the majority of black and African people. Now, sadly, yesterday, our president was unable to formulate those simple concepts in clear and unequivocal terms to President Donald Trump. On the 25th of May, which is coming Sunday, it is African Day. And we in the EFF see ourselves as a pan-African economic revolutionary party. I must admit that I was a bit reluctant to come to this meeting to engage with you, because my view is that the positions that the United Kingdom holds, specifically with regards to your NATO membership, with regards to the support that there is being given to Ukraine, and my colleague has already spelled out what the position is of the economic freedom fighters with regards to Russia and our full support for Russia. And my view also is that despite some critical voices, like one of your colleagues in the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, concerning apartheid Israel, overall, the position of the United Kingdom with regards to Israel has been a supportive one, and that even the Labour Party has not taken the strong principled positions that you should have taken against apartheid Israel. From the side of the economic freedom fighters, we are very, very clear that we support the struggle of the people of Palestine, and we include in that support that we support the right of the people of Palestine to take up arms against apartheid Israel. And we believe that that is also justified in the context of resolutions of the United Nations. Now let me conclude with saying, why was I so concerned and reluctant to come here? Because of the colonial history that the United Kingdom has with regards to South Africa and the rest of the African continent. And my challenge to you is to answer us today whether that colonial history has changed, or whether it has just gone into a new formation, a new colonial expression. We all know the role of the London Stock Exchange, the City of London, which is a powerhouse of finance, and the way in which it continues to extract and exploit business in South Africa. We all know the consequences of South African businesses that relocated to the London Stock Exchange, among those Anglo-American, Old Mutual, and others. And the way in which it costed us jobs and huge amount of South African resources that had been relocated to the United Kingdom. So I challenge you to talk to us about what is different from the previous very vulgar colonial extraction and the current new colonial relationships that you have with South Africa and other African countries and countries in the so-called Third World. And then lastly, let me sharpen the point that my colleague made with regards to the refusal of you having issued a visa to the Commander-in-Chief of the Economic Freedom Fighters, President Julius Malema, and the rest of our EFF delegation. I want to challenge you, as you sit here, are you prepared, unequivocally so, as members also of Parliament, to express your condemnation of that decision to refuse the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF a visa? And lastly, can you acquaint yourself with the policies of the economic freedom fighters and what we stand for in terms of our 7 cardinal pillars, in terms of expropriation of land without compensation, and fundamental economic transformation to make sure that the majority of African people, black and African people, can indeed be in control of their own destination in this country of South Africa. Unfortunately, yesterday, severe attacks were launched on the EFF on a very public platform in the Oval Office by one of your closest allies, one of the closest allies that the United Kingdom has. We would like to know your views, because there is no other party that stands stronger for justice in South Africa, for restitution, and for a true transformation in South Africa than the EFF. And yesterday, a presentation was allowed to go ahead by President Ramaphosa, who didn't have the balls to stand up and fight for South Africa. Yesterday, it was allowed for President Trump and the rest of his representation, and even some of those who spoke there, so-called on behalf of South Africa, but we don't know how they got there as business people. We don't know how Johan Rupert, who is not an elected representative of South Africa, or Ernie Els, who's a golfer, who's not a politician, could come and speak on behalf of our country. We speak today to you as public representatives with that credibility to really articulate what the position of the EFF is. And then, Chair, as a last remark, because this was so outrageous, we were faced yesterday by Ernie Els standing in the Oval Office thanking the USA for supporting the old South African Defence Forces actions in the Battle of Cuito Carnival. Now, we need to understand what the role of the United Kingdom in the future is going to be in terms of working for true freedom and liberation in Africa. Because you have to understand that our first line of alliance is not with you. Our first line of alliance will be with countries that we are associated with in BRICS, Russia, China, and let me tell you also, we do support the positions that are being taken by Iran. So we are very clear that we are anti-NATO. We are very clear that we are anti-new colonialism. We are very clear that we are anti what the United States of America stands for. Our first president made a statement years ago. I conclude, sir. I conclude. Our first president made a statement years ago when he pointed out that we cannot expect of the United States of America to be the friend of South Africa. We had friends such as Cuba and other countries such as then the old USSR that supported us. We are not seeing the United States of America and its friends as our friends. Thank you.